So we're going to continue with the diary of St. Gemma, and we'll be going through the parts in the diary where she mentions her guardian angel. I'm always excited to share what happened to St. Gemma before, and if you like more videos like this one, let it be known in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and let's start with this one. How many consolations Jesus gives me, in how many ways he shows me his love. They are all things of my head. But if I obey, Jesus will not permit me to be deceived. Thursday evening, he promised that in these days, when Mrs. Cecilia was away, he would not leave me without my guardian angel. He gave me the angel last night, and from then on, he has not left me for even a moment. This I have observed many times, and I have not spoken of it even with my confessor, but today I tell all. When I am with other people, my guardian angel never leaves me. However, when I am with her, the angel immediately leaves me. I mean to say that he does not show himself anymore, except to give me some warnings. The same thing happened today. He never left my side for a minute. If I have to speak, to pray, to do something, he lets me know. May Jesus not allow me to be deceived. This thing so astounds me that it obliged me to ask of him, how is it that when Mrs. Cecilia is with me, you never stay around? He answered like this, no person, other than she, knows how to take my place. Poor girl, he added, you are so little that you always need a guide. Fear not, for now I shall do it, but obey. I went to confession. I told this to my confessor. I had also written to him about it. So he explained what I did not understand, so now I understand everything. Yesterday, while eating, I raised my eyes and saw my guardian angel looking at me with an expression so severe I was frightened. He did not speak. Later, when I went to bed for a moment, my God, he commanded me to look him in the face. I looked, and then almost immediately I lowered my gaze, but he insisted and said, aren't you ashamed to commit sins in my presence? You certainly feel ashamed after you commit them. He insisted I look at him. For more than half an hour, he made me stay in his presence, looking him in the face. He gave me some very stern looks. I did nothing but cry. I commended myself to my God, to our mother, to get me out of there, because I could not resist much longer. Every so often, he repeated, I am ashamed of you. I prayed that others would not see him in that state, because then no one would ever come near me. I don't know if others saw him. I suffered for an entire day, and whenever I lifted my eyes, he always looked at me sternly. I could not collect myself for even a minute. That evening I said my prayers anyway, and he was always there watching me with the same expression. He let me go to bed, but he did bless me. He never abandoned me. He stayed with me for several hours without speaking and always stern. I never did have the courage to speak a word to him. I only said, my God, what shame if others should see my angel so angry. There was no way I could sleep last night. I was awake until after 2 o'clock. I know because I heard the clock strike. I stayed in bed, not moving, my mind turned to God, but without praying. Finally, after the clock struck 3, I saw my guardian angel approaching. He placed his hand on my forehead and said these words, sleep, bad girl. I saw him no more. And then on the following day, St. Gemma shared this in the entry dated August 27th, which was on Monday, where she wrote, this morning I received Holy Communion. I hardly had the courage to receive it. Jesus seemed to let me know a little about why my guardian angel was acting this way. I had made my last confession badly. Unfortunately, this was true. And then, on August 28th, my guardian angel remained very stern until this morning, after I revealed everything to my confessor. Upon my exiting from the confessional, he looked at me happily, with an air of kindness. I returned from death to life. Later he spoke to me on his own, because I did not have the courage to question him. He asked me how I was, because I was not feeling well the night before. I answered that only he could cure me. He came near, caressed me again and again, and said I should be good. Just a little note here. St. Gemma said she did not feel well here because her angel was angry at her due to the poor confession she had previously made, and that's why she was seeking his forgiveness. So continuing on with the entry, August 28th, she wrote, repeatedly I asked him if he loved me as much as before, and if he loved me despite everything. He answered in this way, Today I am not ashamed of you. Yesterday I was. I asked many times for forgiveness, and he indicated that I was forgiven for every past action. Finally, I sent him to Jesus for 3 things. If he was happy with me now, if he had forgiven everything, that he should rid me of this shame so that I could be obedient to my confessor. He went away instantly and returned very late. He said Jesus was very happy that he has forgiven me, but for the last time. As to the shame, he said Jesus responded with these exact words, "Tell her to obey perfectly." Later then, I went to bed, and after a little while I felt some remorse. I was thinking, it's true, on the subject of a meditation on the Passion, but in bed. My guardian angel asked what I was thinking. About the Passion, I answered. What will Jesus say about me, who leads such an easy life, praying little, and in bed? In short, all my time in prayer I spend in bed. Unfortunately, all this is true. He answered by asking what I thought. It is laziness, I responded. But I promised that from that evening on, I would never again pray in bed, except for the day that I was supposed to, out of obedience. Last evening and for the whole night he never left me, but with an agreement. I must be quiet and sleep. I did it. Toward evening I went to confession, and the confessor, believing I was not feeling well, because I had been suffering some, ordered me to go to bed as soon as I entered my room, and he ordered me to sleep without speaking with my guardian angel, because sometimes we would talk for hours on end, and that I should sleep. I went to bed, but I could not fall asleep out of the curiosity I had. I wanted to ask my guardian angel so many things, and I waited for him to speak on his own, but no way. All he told me was to go to sleep several times. Finally, I fell asleep. Tonight, I slept with my guardian angel by my side. Upon awakening, I saw him next to me. He asked me where I was going. To Jesus, I answered. The rest of the day went very well. But my God, toward evening, what happened? My guardian angel got serious and stern. I could not figure out the reason, but he, from whom nothing can be hidden, in a stern tone, at the moment when I started to recite my usual prayers, asked me what I was doing. I am praying. Who are you waiting for? Becoming yet more serious. Without thinking, I said, Brother Gabriel. Upon hearing me pronounce those words, he started to yell at me, saying I was waiting in vain. And here I remember 2 sins I had committed during the day. My God, what sternness! He pronounced these words more than once. I am ashamed of you. I will end up by not coming to you anymore, and maybe who knows if even tomorrow. And he left me in that state. He made me cry so much. I want to ask forgiveness, but when he is that angry, there is no way he wants to forgive. I did not see him again that night, nor this morning. Today he told me to adore Jesus, who was alone, and then he disappeared again. This evening it was much better than the evening before. I asked him many times for forgiveness, and he seemed willing to forgive me. Tonight he stayed with me constantly. He repeated that I should be good and not give further disgust to our Jesus, and when I am in his presence, I should try to be better.